Hey y'all, and welcome to my channel. I am Christine. I appreciate you so much for stopping by. This is going to be my first Easter projects of 2024, and I hope you enjoy these. So my first one, I found this little cast iron little skillet. Now, I'm not sure what you cook in these, but I love it because it was so little and it was so thin. And I'm going to use a transfer from my redesign with Prima, and that is the Cottontail collection in case you want to order any. Now I'm just going to place that cute little bunny where I want him and then use my little transfer tool to work him down in there. So anytime you have texture, and of course cast iron, there is a lot of texture, you have to work a little bit harder. But these transfers from Prima are so good, and you can actually tell when the transfer itself is coming off because you can tell that it looks a little more opaque, I want to say, that the transfer is leaving behind and that your top is clear. So I've ordered some transfers before from just Amazon or whatever, and they were not a better brand. Now, they were adorable, but they're not a better brand. And I would not use those for anything real textured. So just be careful and make sure you use something good for your textured project. I did not want to paint my pan because I love the look of that cast iron, so I definitely did not want to cover that up. All I'm going to do is when I get my bunny fully transferred, I am going to seal him with my big top. And then I'm going to use some velvet ribbon that's left over from Christmas, but it's green and it's still a color I would associate with Easter. So I'm going to use that just to tie like a little handle to the top so you can hang it from either the little hole in the pan or you can hang it from that ribbon. Now you can see where I just pulled that up from there. Part of that tail, his little cotton tail, did not transfer. Easy peasy. All you got to do is lay your piece back down there and work it some more, and that was perfect. Don't forget to flip over your paper, your little plastic, once you've done your transfer. Flip it over to the soft side, not the little grabby side, and then work that down into your project, and that just pushes that transfer a little bit more in there. And then I did add some flowers and some leaves just because I thought the little bunny, he's adorable, but I thought it needed a little something other else. And I did take some little ribbon and tied a bow, and I also put some little florals. I kind of tied it in the bow. I did not hot glue it or anything. I'm going to put this in my booth, I think. So if somebody wanted to remove the little florals that I added on there, they can certainly do that. But then after I've done that, this is a finished project. And this is absolutely adorable. Let me know what you guys think of this one. And stay tuned all the way to the end because you do not want to miss these Easter projects. Alright, you guys, time for project number 2. I picked up this little Christmas watering can from Goodwill, and it had a lot of texture on it. I love that. I have not found one before that had that. I don't know if they just added that. when they sold this, but I really liked it, so I'm not going to do anything with that texture. And I am going to use my chalk paint in the color Cashmere. This is a very light pink, very appropriate for Easter, and I just love these little pastel soft colors. So I'm going to do that. Now, I did not paint the inside, but just be sure that you push paint all the way on the inside of your handles. Just make sure that you get that everywhere. And I am going to use another redesign with Prima Transfer, because why not? That Cottontail collection is absolutely adorable, and I'm sure I'll have plenty for next year too. But I'm going to use another one of those. And of course, as always, when you are using transfers, be sure to seal them good, just to put that down in your project so that they don't come loose, work themselves loose, because they could start to peel if you don't seal them. So you want to make sure you seal them, and you want to seal chalk paint anyhow. So I just do it at the end. Now, I've seen people before seal their paint, then put their transfer on, and then seal that as well. I haven't found any need to do that. I haven't found where the transfer moves off of my paint to begin with. But if you're working with a project and you find that your transfer might be moving off of your paint and you haven't sealed your chalk paint, it may be that whatever surface you're using may need sealing. I think I would say if you were putting on something slick, you might want to seal it first, lay it down, and then seal it again. But anyhow, I've picked this beautiful little bunny with he's encased in some florals. And then I did go back on the opposite side as well on this and added another little bunny. So there's lots of options in here in this little packet. There's also a little crown. I was kind of confused about the crown. I'm not sure when I'll ever use that crown, but there's a little crown if you're interested. But again, this is the Cottontail collection, and this is absolutely adorable. Then in the end, I just used some floral foam, and I got that from Dollar Tree. I cut that down. Now, I found a trick to cutting floral foam. So I was using a knife from my kitchen, and then I wanted the knife back in my kitchen. I used scissors, and then it kind of turned out where the floral foam did not cut pretty. So I found that I have these art knives. They're for painting with oil or what have you. I've got a couple of those, and I just found one that worked really well. So it just slices through it. Just be careful, but it doesn't hurt your art knife. And then it's not going to hurt your floral foam. So anyhow, I just cut some down in there. I got these flowers off of Temu. But a lot of Dollar Trees, I've seen people posting, they have prettier flowers, seems like, than my Dollar Trees locally. So anyhow, I've got these off of Temu. And I'm just going to push those in there and just kind of spread them out around that little handle. Then I'm going to take some pink velvet ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby and tie just a simple, pretty little bow. And then this project is finished as well. So these projects are not very hard, but they're totally forming something that somebody at some point decided was junk to them into beautiful, beautiful projects for your home. So let me go. Oh gosh, you guys, let me know what you think, please. last project, you guys, and I hope you've hung in so far. Let me know if you're all the way to the end with me, because you don't want to miss this one, because we're not using transfer. We're using some rice paper, and I ordered this from Etsy. There's a certain shop I like to use a lot. I think it's called Meka. I may be pronouncing that incorrect, but it's Meka Daughters, and I do order a good bit from her. So it's this little pot, flowering pot that I found from Goodwill, and I like the little handle so you can hang it over something as opposed to hanging it by something, if that makes sense. So I am going to paint it one good coat with white Adirondack chalk paint. And I think I did paint some on the inside, just so, yes I did. See here? Just so you wouldn't see that galvanized metal look. I just didn't want that showing through. But do a good coat of that. And I wasn't real concerned about a full coverage on it, because I'm going to come back and distress it a little bit. So this is my first project here that I've done any distressing, because I like the other two as they were. But again, this little rice paper, so this is a little set with bunnies on it. And I am going to use the little, one of the little male bunnies. And they've got clothes on them, y'all. Oh my gosh, how adorable is that? Anyhow, I'm going to use him. So with my rice paper, because it's not a real big surface, I just used my fingers to work it down. I'm pretty sure I used my Mod Podge, but we'll see that coming up in here in a little bit. But you can use Mod Podge, you can use liquid patina. But for the edges, I don't want it to look just cut with scissors. I don't want it to look precise, because I am going to come back and distress it. So I am using my paintbrush, dipped in a little bit of water, going around the edges. Now this rice paper tears beautifully. It tears a little bit different. There is a difference in it than regular decoupage paper, because you can see the fibers a little more. When it pulls apart, like, it leaves these gorgeous little fibers out on the end. So it really looks aged. It doesn't look like you just took an image and slapped it down on something, or I don't have to come back with some sandpaper, because I do that sometimes to rough up the edges, because it already looks a little rough. So just go all the way around it. Don't cut it out. Again, use your paintbrush. Pull it apart, and then I'm going to lay him down with some, whatever my medium is for my decoupage. I'm going to take my fingers and work out any bubbles. If it was a large, flat project, I would use my brayer to help get out any air bubbles. And then I'm going to take some antiquing wax, and I'm going to go around the pot, around the edges, especially those handles. I'm going to do around the edges of my decoupage paper there. And I'm even just going to do some randomly around the pot itself, around the middle. So anytime you have where you're laying decoupage paper, I like to do a small strip to begin with and work my way down. Just keep folding it back, doing your strip, work your way down. I find that cuts out a lot of the air bubbles. You guys let me know what your technique is, but I just find that I don't have as many air bubbles. So, and then I'm going to take and do the Mod Podge on top as well, just to seal my piece down. And then I'm going to actually come back in the end after I put my wax and all down, and I sand it a little bit with my finger sander, just to bring a little bit, not a whole lot. I didn't distress it a whole lot, but just to bring a little bit of that galvanized metal look back in. And then I seal my whole project. So I hope you guys really enjoyed these projects. I had fun doing them. I have lots of fun going out and finding these, because you never know what you're going to find. Like I said, the first one was, I found it actually at a flea market. But the other ones I found at Goodwill. So I'm trying to expand a little bit, because I'm finding that sometimes my inventory is running low on my local Goodwill store. So when, spring comes, I can get out a little bit more at flea markets, yard sales, or whatever. But you never know what you're going to find. you just never know what people are parting with. Like I said, they don't know what to do with it or whatever, but they make beautiful home decor for now. Um, anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much. I hope you have a blessed week.